welcome everyone to Oracle Insight. Thanks for joining me here today. Welcome back to those who are returning viewers, and big hello to those of you who are new to the channel. So today's reading, I thought we'll do a general pick a card reading based on bringing through any kind of message that you may need to hear right now. So I've kept the description of each of the cards hidden, so you're making your choices based on the imagery and which of these you feel the most connected to. Your options are 1, 2, and 3. So you can pause if you need to, but take your time, feel into which of these images are pulling you in the most. And once you have made that choice, the timestamps will be in the description. Skip straight through to your timestamp and I shall be there waiting to do your reading. Hello and welcome to those of you who selected this first image, and it is see yourself in nature. So this is about stripping away any kind of layers that you have placed upon yourself, that you felt that you've either knowingly or unknowingly needed to do so in order to be more acceptable to those around you maybe, or to fit in more easily with the situations, environments and people that you've had throughout your life. So now this card and the message is to see yourself more authentically as you were divinely created, connecting to that essence of yourself, that natural, beautiful, whole being that you truly are. So for some of you, this may be a time where you felt somewhat disconnected maybe to people, things, situations around you, and you're not maybe certain of how to move forward with this. Or even it's a case of not really understanding those emotions at all. All right then, so let's go ahead and turn over these tarot cards and let's see what we have here. You've got the Chariot. Okay, Death. 3 of Wands. And High Priestess. Okay, wow. Alright, I'm getting from this then that there's divine guidance going on with these many major arcana cards here, and you're being asked to move in a direction that is more authentic to you. With the Death card there, that given the theme, it's a death to an old way of showing up in the world, an old way of perceiving yourself. Because look, you've got 3 of Wands, which is talking to the opportunity to become more, do more. There's expansion in this card. So he's standing there on that cliff there, and he's looking at the bounty that is going to be returning to him. And with the High Priestess, that's talking about having an inner understanding, or looking within and connecting with that deeper divine essence within yourself, in order to come up with or connect with the truth of who you are. And there's a knowingness with this High Priestess. It's something that you probably have understood anyway. There's a knowing here. You are aware of the changes that are required, and maybe you've just been looking to see some kind of guidance or looking for some kind of confirmation. So group number 1, this is your confirmation that whatever you are sensing as not being true for yourself right now, there is this call here, this movement to release that, come to terms with the fact that that is no longer going to be beneficial for you moving forward, because in the movement forward you're looking to draw in more things that are beneficial for you and that will serve you in your expansion, in your ability to create more. With the Wands here, and there's that source of inspiration, but this is actually past the beginning stages. This is more about a choice has already been made. The movement forward has already been initiated. And now you're wanting to develop more of what is in alignment with where you're heading. And the High Priestess talks to a sense, I'm looking at the white and the black pillars here, and I'm seeing that as moving between 2 states, a bit like the Chariot, in that you're connecting. You've got the black and the white going on here. These 2 sphinxes here that are moving forward, moving the Chariot forward. Just like with the High Priestess, you've got the black and white. So it's understanding the middle ground. It's understanding the combining of these energies. That moving forward, there has to be a balance of those energies, and energies that are truer to your nature, your inner essence. And with that, you'll be able to create something better in the future moving forward. Okay, let's have a look at what this says. You've got, additionally, you've got 8 of fire, which is 8 of wands here. Definitely, you've got 3 of fire, so you've got 3 of wands showing up twice. So there is a call for expansion. Definitely, the possibilities are there. And then you've got the messenger of fire, lots of fire. Well, this is really asking for action. And then you've got 4 of earth. So I'm really seeing this as with the chariot, there must be a call for some quick action. Maybe you've got decision making to come to terms with, choices to be made. And with the messenger of fire, knight of wands, that's movement. That's asking for movement forward on any kind of creative expressions that you're wanting to take out into the world, or to reveal yourself in a different way. This is giving you that burst of energy, that burst of divine inspiration to take it forward. There's a lot on offer here for you, group number 1, in terms of constructive energy to use for you. There seems, the word divinity comes to mind. There's so much divinity when it comes to these major arcana cards here, where the energies are so much more than just the everyday energies and tasks that we're performing. These are bigger life path energies that are coming to the fore for you now, and is really asking you to take control and steer your ship, steer this chariot here the way and in the direction that you want it to go. Because like I said, with the 3 of wands on the table, there is huge potential for expansion here, but it does require that you release the old with the death. But it looks to me like this situation, whatever you're in at the moment, where you may have felt restrained, constricted, that seems to be falling away regardless, given that these energies are supporting this. And assess what's working for you, assess what isn't, releasing what isn't in order to be able to move towards this expansion here that's being offered with the 3 of wands. And given that the 8 of fire is in here with the chariot, there is very speedy progression in this layout for you, group number 1. So the 4 of earth, I'm really thinking that this is more about where you can establish something for yourself, feeling of grounding for yourself. There is stability with this 4 of earth, but I also get a sense of growth. There is growth here on offer. At the same time, this could also be a reminder to your group 1 that be mindful of being enticed back to what you're used to, because the 4 of earth, the 4 of pentacles, can sometimes indicate stuck energy. And given that it looks like there's some kind of enticement here with the open the palms and the, what is that in there? Can't actually quite make that out, but I would imagine, given how this image is being portrayed, it's like a gift of sorts, or something that you're being enticed back to because it's something that you're used to. And that would be what we don't want to happen, group number 1, because the 4 of pentacles can speak to holding on to something too tightly, not being willing to let go of something. With the death here and the indication of an ending, it's really not going to be supporting you if you hold on to things that worked in the past, or just habitual things that you deem more comfortable for yourself, because you're being asked to go into a completely different level of experience and expansion and creation. So much fire on the table, group number 1, so much potential. It really does speak to you being constructive in the channeling of that energy to something that's going to support you moving forward. Because with this see yourself in nature card, that's also asking you to see yourself as that potential for abundance, for creation, for the growth of something new, that you have that in yourself anyway, and connecting with that natural flow and that natural creative energy, which is very much supported by the wands, the fire cards here. That's going to be a factor that will support you moving forward, group 1. So most definitely the time is here now to take control. One last message here for you. This is Moonology deck. Time for healing. That's come out. And I'm going to turn this one. A personal issue reaches A personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. So very fitting energies, I think. With the time for healing, this is about connecting to your true source, your true self, understanding the greatness that you play, given that you are an extension and a creation of divine source. And so in that, it's now time for you to heal any wounds that you may have carried, any wounds that may have led you to put on any mask that hid your true self, understanding that the real connection to your inner divinity of your own nature is what is the truth for you moving forward. And with this personal issue reaches resolution here, it looks like there's a completion and you're being supported on that. You're being led and guided, fully supported with the energies around you. So much fire on the table. Once again, it does call for some action, for you to take control of the situation. All right, so those are the messages that have come through for you today, Group 1. All the best as you move forward. If you found this beneficial, then please consider liking and subscribing. Take care, and I'll connect with you again very soon. Hello and welcome, Group number 2. So the image that you selected is challenge your perception. So straight away, there could be something that you're dealing with right now that maybe there is more to the person, the situation that meets the eye, and you're being asked to potentially put yourself in the other person's shoes or take on a different viewpoint when assessing a situation. It's really pointing to the fact that there's more than meets the eye in this experience that you're dealing with right now, Group number 2. So let's go ahead and turn over these cards to get us some further information. And remember, this isn't a yes or no answer to a question. This is just general information that's coming through for you right now. So it looks like you've been developing something, working on something, and you've been very diligent about it. The situation that you're dealing with right now has not been very free-flowing. There's been some disturbances, and I would say that it's with those that are around you, and you're sensing that there might be some dishonesty going on, some kind of input from others that is creating some difficulties. Now, with the Strength card and the Hermit, so the Hermit is asking for a bit of inner sight. There's more to what's on offer right now that you cannot see, and the Hermit is shining a lantern, a light on those things that are hidden. And it might be, as with the theme of the card, it might require for you to actually look a bit deeper at whatever internal stories that you have going on, whatever accumulated knowledge that you have, that you carry into this situation or into this interaction or relationship. Because this Seven of Swords can also point to not only those disturbances with those around you, but it can also, I'm seeing this here, that this could be past hurts that are coming into play here, or past deceptions, and that's having an influence on how you are perceiving the current situation. And the Strength, that's really asking for taming of these inner conflicts that are happening, these inner demons that kind of come up and throw you off course. It's saying that you do have that ability to master the situation. It does require some focus and some strength, some discipline, but it's certainly within your reach to have more awareness of what's going on here. Because with the Knight of Pentacles, I'm seeing that whatever you've been dealing with, you've been quite diligent about it, you've put in the effort, you've put in the time. And so in order for this to progress as you would like it to, and as you had intended in the beginning, it does require, once again, we're coming back to this change of perception. And you do look to be hard pressed to take on another viewpoint, given that it's a challenge here with that card. But that does look to be the answer to whatever issue you're dealing with right now. Group number 2. So let's turn over these cards. So we actually had five cards that came out for you. So now let's just adjust that positioning. Whoops, too far over right. Oh goodness. All right, so you have the Nine of Wands here, Nine of Fire, the King of Fire, which is King of Wands, Seven of Water, 10 of Water, 8 of Water. All right, so this Nine of Fire, that does speak to some long-standing perseverance on your part, trying to be patient with something that's going on around you, trying to look at the positives. So, oh yeah, I am actually seeing here that you're trying to look at the positives. And it looks like you've put your heart into something as well. So there's a lot of investment in this situation or this partnership, this connection with somebody. But the dreams that you've had are not materializing as you would have liked. The situation is not moving or producing the results that you had anticipated. But interestingly enough, you've got the 10 of Water here, 10 of Cups. So that does talk to happiness, emotional fulfillment, right next to the 8 of Cups, which is about leaving something behind. The 10 of Cups, the 10 of Water straight under the Hermit, this introspection, this change of perspective will give you more happiness, it would seem, a more sense of relief here. But it might be a situation where you're going to walk away from one aspect or one investment that you've made with the 7 of Cups. I'm seeing that there's something that you're going to decide is not working out for you, has run its course in terms of what's possible. So the challenge in perception here could be that you're being asked to consider the other options that are available for you to develop. And it might, for some of you, not be about so much taking on another perspective based on being considerate of how others are potentially dealing with things unknown to you. This could be asking you to consider cutting your losses on something and moving on. The 8 of Water here, you can see how they're waiting on that ship to come in so that they can, I would imagine that voyage is about moving to new territory. It could be you are being asked to assess through the Hermit what is working for you, come to terms with, it might even be that the Strength is asking you to find that strength to move on. And in that movement, you'll see the happiness. You can see that Buddha there is extremely happy. So I'm also seeing this as a call to have a strength of heart. And it might be challenging for you to release what you've obviously persevered in for so long and you've worked quite hard at, and you've kept the faith, you've held the line, you've wanted to move forward and go for the long term. But with these clarifying cards here, group number 2, it could actually be that you're being asked to reassess the situation with the Hermit, consider whether going forward is going to be beneficial for you or not. Well, that's interesting. A new romantic cycle begins. Given with the 10 of Cups here with happiness, maybe for some of you, you have been persevering in a relationship that you felt that you've been hard done by in. With the 7 of Swords, there could have been a lot of taking from you, but not enough giving to you, and you've been the one that's been giving steadily with the Knight of Pentacles here. That could be something. And show the world the real you. This might be more of a show that person the real you. Show that person that you understand your worth. You understand whatever commitment that you've had to date has not been reciprocated. And so it's time for you to be more willing to stand out and step up and go on towards something that is more aligned with the real you and more in balance. Because you can see here with Libra, there's the scales, and Libra can often be indicative of being out of balance, giving more to the other than giving to oneself. So it looks like this could be a time where you are giving yourself self-love even. and finding that inner harmony, which allows you to be at peace if and when you do decide to move forward, move away with this Eight of Cups, Eight of Water here, which gives you that sense of happiness here. And maybe that sense of happiness is a result of the fact that you're being more true to yourself. And in being more true to yourself, you show up in a different way in the world. There we go, group number 2. You can take those messages as it resonates or doesn't for you. I do wish you all the best as you move forward. If you have found this helpful, then please consider liking and subscribing. Take care, and I will connect with you again very soon. Hello and welcome to those of you who selected this third card with this imagery. Now it says, let two become one. So at first interpretation, that could very well be about connecting with another in a relationship. Maybe forego a little of the I am in order to be we are. So not in the sense that you lose the independence, because this is about holding on to the independence, but at the same time being able to share yourself with another or contribute to a situation or a relationship that is going to be beneficial for all parties involved. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and turn over these tarot cards. But you've got Four of Pentacles. Okay, now I've put 10 of Pentacles. You've got the Eight of Pentacles, Five of Cups, and you've got the Ace of Cups. So you had 5 that came out there. Got the 10 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles, lots of Pentacles in the beginning here, and that's fantastic. I always love seeing these cards regardless. I'm getting a sense that you really do desire the happy home with the 10 of Pentacles here. It looks to me like you're willing to work at it as well with the 8 of Pentacles, but maybe you've had some past disappointments, past hurts, and this is where you're struggling to kind of get past in order to be able to enjoy what the 10 of Pentacles can offer. And it might also be that you're actually looking, if this is pertinent to a relationship, for those of you that this is a relationship that you have in mind, then I'm seeing this more as your energy actually. I think you really do have this desire to make something work. But I think it's this 5 of Cups that's getting in the way. It's this past hurts, these past disappointments. And with the Ace of Swords, it's offering an understanding, it's offering clarity to you. So there could be something that's going to come in that's going to change your perception, change how you view the situation, which gives you a better understanding, a higher ground, a higher perspective than what you're seeing at the moment. And it's going to reveal something that shifts your outlook on this situation. And with the Four of Pentacles, that's I'm seeing this as definitely being stuck, a viewpoint, stuck in a situation. Given that it's the Pentacles, it's not so much about the thought, it's more about your actual reality. But of course, the thoughts feed the reality. And so it looks to me like you've got some past beliefs you might be holding on to too strongly. And it's getting in the way of you being able to achieve this 10 of Pentacles. Interesting that I'm seeing this more as a relationship, even though the Pentacles are coming out, which does speak to more of the material. So for some of you, this could be a business partnership that you're dealing with. Could be that you're differing on a viewpoint, on a perspective to move forward in developing something. You're at a bit of a loss right now as to how to move forward. But even in this situation, I do see with the Ace of Swords here that it is pointing to some kind of revelation, some kind of understanding that takes the situation to another level of awareness and understanding, which breaks through this disappointment here. Okay, and you've got the Emperor, transformation. Okay, so that's the Death card. So 2 of Cups, the 2 of Water here. Once again, that's pointing more to relationship. You've got Page of Fire, so that's about learning something, building something, being interested in growing something with that fire, that sense of investing in something. Oh wow, and just look how beautiful that has that potential to grow, to create something with this desire to put more energy into something. It looks like it could bloom into something really quite magical. So if that is a relationship, then the potential is there for it to develop into something that is not only magical and can be developed, because the Page of Fire is really in the learning stages of something. It's an energy which, with more investment, more time, which is really what the Eight of Pentacles is talking to as well, then there's room there to develop and grow into something more. And with the Emperor, we'll see that is talking to the stability, the growth into something where there is evidence of that growth, where there is a lot of stability here. With the Fool, the Emperor, that is talking to a lot of stability, a lot of security, a long-term stability as well. And with transformation and death, so wow, under the Ace of Swords, this is an ending of an old way of considering something, interpreting something, looking at something. So it may be that because of past hurts and past disappointments, past losses, you've not wanted to invest in a partnership at all, whether that's business or personal. And with this transformation, we're talking basically the Death card here. So that is the ending of one way, an old way of being. And with the Ace of Swords, that's talking to a new beginning here, a new way to consider how one moves forward. There's definitely an opportunity here that's going to allow you to see things from a different point of view. I'm not quite sure what that would be, but it does look like there's some information or a change of mindset or something that comes through for you that allows you to see things in a clearer, purer fashion, which leads to this transformation here. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. And if it is to do with a business partnership, then with the Two of Cups, this is about finding that balance or that place of agreement, a place of unity on something, being able to look at what's possible from a new viewpoint, or a viewpoint where you are willing to look further into what's possible if one was to take on that middle ground in terms of creating something in the business. And that the Emperor there is talking to the possibility of that solidifying into something long term, something very beneficial. And you're then, of course, with the Death card there, the transformation, it is about transforming the dynamics of this situation, dynamics of this partnership, where you can move forward in more agreeance with your direction now. Okay, so why don't we get a Runology card for a parting message? I think that's the one. Let's see. Confidence is your key to success. All right then. So, oh look, I like the fact that you've got two lions depicted here. So this is, it's claiming that authority within yourself to be capable in connection with somebody else in whatever form that might be. If it's a relationship, then you are very capable and confident of being able to contribute to a relationship in a very healthy fashion and to demand that reciprocal respect and contribution from another. If it's to do with a business partnership, then you have the confidence to be able to demand that your viewpoint also be acknowledged, or what it is that you would like to happen going forward in this business partnership be acknowledged, as well as the fact that given you are confident within yourself, then you know you're not going to lose anything by being open to another viewpoint, or open to another way of actually progressing in that business partnership. Group number 3, those are the messages that have come through for you today. Take care of yourselves, and I shall connect with you again very soon.